Hello, everyone. So, Becca, can you hear me? How you doing? I saw on the Slack channel, David Beckard said something about the syllabus in the Git repo looking like there's an error, some duplicated time slot. It's possible that I know we fixed some time thing. I don't remember it was a duplication. Do you know what he's referring to?
You might be referring to that two of the modules have the same title, I think in day 4.
Let's take a look. Okay, let me find the pinned thing. There's the syllabus. Day 4. That would be Thursday. So I've got time series theory, interferogram stacks, offset stacks, ARIA tools. So on the Google sheet, there's no duplication that I see unless I'm missing it.
I think it might have been in GeoSync, but it looks like looking at the GeoSync folder now that they might have been renamed.
Okay, let me go into GeoSync. So that's at the top level, the docx file.
Let me go back and look at his message, what he said.
Okay. The docx file may very well be out of date. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly where he's referring to. I think that 4.2 and 4.3 used to have the same name on like the notebooks, and that got changed. So I don't know where else he's referring to in terms of the syllabus in the Git repo.
Okay. Well, this syllabus in the Git repo is a little bit outdated anyway. So I think what I'll do is I'll download the version that's on Google Sheets and update it here, just in case people are checking both places. Not a problem. But maybe, I don't know if he's going to dial in here or not, but hopefully he'll respond. I responded to his comment in the thread. All right, so let's see. Are there other instructors on, or is it just me and you, Becca? Where are we here?
You don't have your gallery view on, huh?
There you are. No, it's just, I have an enormous screen, but foolishly, I moved it into my office. I was out in the dining room. I moved it into my office thinking my internet problems were solved. But for whatever reason, when I put my laptop in the office, somehow the Wi-Fi gets confused and I lose connection for 5 minutes every hour or so. So I decided to not lose connection, come out here, and now I have just my laptop screen. So it's very hard to see things.
Excuses.
That was probably too much information. Any questions?
I'm confused by this issue with the GDAL notebook point, because when you look at where that is, 12 degrees north, 92 degrees east, it's in the Indian Ocean.
Ah, well, maybe we gave it the wrong coordinate.
I can't imagine that's the right one.
And maybe it never worked. Why don't we
Why don't we pick a
put
point
the
in
right
Hawaii?
coordinate in there?
Pick
What's
a point
that?
in Hawaii where the actual data is from.
Yes. Yeah, I probably should have checked that, but I thought about checking it and I said, must be right. Because it worked
Who
before.
would put a wrong point in there?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we just copied it from a previous year. Is there a minus sign missing? Is it east versus west or?
Minus sign would put it, if you made it west, then you're basically offshore of like central Mexico.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not sure that that's what we would have wanted either.
Is there a one missing possibly?
Let me
Somebody
check.
deleted a one?
Let me check what last year's notebook says. Which one is that? The raster projection?
03.
Yeah, the third one.
Opening it.
I also saw some traffic on something about not finding the 18 dot whatever
That's
DEM.
because they hadn't updated their notebooks.
Okay, good. That's what I was figuring, but
Where
good.
does where does it define the point?
At the very bottom, I think.
It does the reprojection just fine.
Mhm.
So there's an
Interrogating for the values at a location, I think.
So I wonder if the
Kind of
notebook.
a random Jupyter notebook question that I've always kind of wondered. So if I close, if I'm working on a notebook, I save my changes, I exit out, and then reopen it again at some other time. Do I need to start at the beginning and run every single thing? Okay, that answers a lot of
If
questions.
it's a new kernel, you need to start at the beginning.
Okay, so even though some of the figures and the outputs are still there, it's retained nothing in memory. Okay,
That's right. Yep.
okay.
Kind of like me. So you finding anything, Franz?
Well, check out our location of interest. Okay, that's what we're looking for. So that's in section B, something B. geocoding.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at last year's notebook and see if there was a different point last year.
It wouldn't surprise me if we never got this far.
That could be it.
Yes,
looked at the video and I don't think we
totally
did.
different point.
Say again, it is a different point?
It is a different point.
I looked at the video and I don't think we got much beyond like the first one.
Where did you guys go? Here you are. Let me chat you. Try this.
No,
That looks different.
It's different numbers.
yeah. Well, that looks like it should be in the Pacific.
How
It's
can we
from longitude.
possibly have the wrong number? That is bizarre.
Someone looking at the Andaman Islands? I don't know.
Maybe somebody was playing with it and
Yeah, maybe just randomly change stuff. Is somebody running this?
I am about to. Well, I say that. I'm about
I don't know how you Google Maps this.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. 1 minus 155. Yeah, that's in Hawaii. For sure. 155.0 looks like 19.74. Looks like on the Upper East Rift. This is a good place to look for deformation.
it's supposed to be the peak of something, right? Isn't that what it says?
Is it Puuoa or something?
Uh,
It's on the East Rift zone of Kilauea anyway.
Let me bring up my notebook, I guess.
Could actually add it as a pushpin.
I'm failing at something really simple right now.
Well, it's definitely within the image, I can tell you that.
Well, it's within the island or within the image?
Both.
Okay,
Because the image is of the eastern sort of
sure. Yeah.
chunk of the big island.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's close to Kilauea.
The point you sent looks like it's in the middle of Hilo Bay. No?
Or
Did I
just
do
north
it?
of Hilo, yeah. I just typed it in.
So maybe we could make a homework problem of having people find the right point and stick it in there.
It is in Hilo, but it's like on the harbor wall or something.
I don't think that's what we want.
Well, it's a thing. Yeah, like the pushpin is right on the wall of the harbor. According to Google Earth. But that is in the image, I think.
Right, but I think the cell, what does it say? Judo. Oh. That's interesting. If we actually read the text in the notebook, we would
What?
see. Yeah, sorry to make us have to do that, but it actually says in the text, where is it?
This is processed over a very small volcano named Barren Island in the ocean.
Exactly, which is work that Piyush had been doing with our Indian colleagues about a couple of years ago, which makes sense. So that explains why that number is there. And maybe we had the Barren Island stuff in there as an example at one point.
But last year we just punted and used the process.
Exactly. So I think we simply need to, I can fix this.
So I think what we, so the notebook we used last year is different.
Is it?
Yes. And it specifically says we have included the output from StripMap app, processing run in the subfolder named StripMap. The pair is over Hawaii. Location, blah, 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 represents the tip of an ocean wall near the Hilo airport.
Oh,
We'll try to locate this pixel in the full resolution correlation image in radar coordinates.
brilliant.
Does it fix the projection, the ellipsoid versus geoid thing? That's another error I had. Well, not an error, but like if you work through the notebook as it is in currently,
Yep.
you download a tile of SRTM and you apply GDAR warp, which is supposed to convert it from geoid reference to ellipsoid reference, and then you take the difference and plot it, and you get 0. And I went and I downloaded the actual ellipsoid SRTM tile and compared it to the one that we have, and yeah, the one we have is the geoid tile, and the ellipsoid one is different. But if you actually try and use GDAR warp to convert it, it doesn't. You get the same thing.
Yeah, so the notebook claims that it does.
But I don't know whether the syntax is different or something between the two versions. And whether actually when you run it, you get a different answer. Yeah, it does look different. Interesting.
Should I send you the notebook?
Yes. You can probably post it in the chat, can't you?
I don't know. Can I attach stuff in the chat?
You can upload files. There is a file button.
Do that. Shut it down.
Okay, but I think just to not just to close on the last point. Maybe I need a copy of the last year's notebook so I can compare cell by cell to make sure that everything is consistent in the language with these two data, with the data set that we're using.
Okay, well, France just uploaded it,
Uploaded it to what?
the chat window.
To the Zoom chat.
Oh, thank you. Potential security issue detected.
Ooh,
May be harmful to my computer if I download it.
I don't think so.
You don't know.
I'm confident that France would not send us malware.
Oh,
Not
wow.
knowing-
I'm
Certainly
not sure
not
if I-
knowingly.
Yes, I wouldn't do it intentionally.
Okay. Are there any questions other than these things?
I have some more installation questions, if that's not too far outside of the goal.
Installation of the software on your computer?
Yeah,
Station of ICE, I'm guessing.
yeah, yes.
I don't think any of the instructors who know a lot about that are on, but you can ask the
Okay, that's
question and we
okay.
can.
I can just post it in the other thing. This is more, I'm getting to the scones install part, and it says
Oh,
it can't
God.
find the HDF5 library. But it's
Right. So have you configured your sconce, whether it's sconce configure?
yes. And I have so it can find the HDF5 headers, and so I wonder if I need to put it in the.
Yeah, the library path also needs to be set properly.
Yeah, I wonder if I.
So let me, maybe I can share mine. Mine may actually not work anymore because I went from Mac ports to Homebrew recently and haven't worked with ISCE2 since then, but I can at least show you what I had. Let me find it first.
Emily, are you building from source? Or you doing
No.
You're doing from Conda, the Conda
Yeah,
install?
Yeah, and then you don't need to do any of this sconce business. All you need to do is actually configure a script that tells it where the ICE directories are, which is really, really straightforward.
Ah, okay. Sounds good. I was just working through the instructions on the Git site.
Yeah, they were like, to actually install it from Conda, it's 2 lines. You have to add the Conda repo,
Okay.
Conda Forge thing to Conda, and then it's like, and maybe you make an environment for it, like an ISCE2 with the requirements file that's, I think, posted, and then it's literally Conda install ISCE2.
Okay, maybe I will try.
Yeah, the Git instructions are for building from source. So
okay. Okay, yeah, I don't need to do that. Okay, I will. This is starting to ring some bells from an earlier version, that there were like 2 lists of instructions somewhere.
Yeah, I have like a PDF of like slides I used in my grad class.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I'll try and find them and post them on Slack.
Nice. Yeah, that would be useful. Okay, I'm gonna abandon this then, because it sounds like I don't need to do that. Okay, well, thank you. That's actually very helpful.
And I won't share my screen then.
Yeah, if you want to do any of the fancy things like compiling with GPU support and things like that, then you have to go through that whole rigmarole.
Okay. Yeah, no, this should be just straightforward. Okay.
But
Thanks.
Last few times I tried it, it broke for various reasons that were not clear to me why.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I went through a whole rigmarole with I had installed the one API environment to try to get some old Fortran to install, and it took over and installed its paths everywhere, and so glad that's gone.
Yeah, if you're fine with the standardized install, I think the Conda is the way to go.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like definitely a good idea. Thanks.
Excellent. So the thing with the notebook that I just sent, is it too late to change it? It's probably too late.
Say that again. I missed it.
The raster projection notebook, if we were to replace this now, is that too late?
Well, I need to see what's different between the two. We can't just do a quick replace because Gareth substantially modified it. So what I would do is just look for, I think towards the end, look for the things that are discrepant between the two.
But the thing that's actually mentioned here, the thing that France posted in before the notebook, that actually fixes another one of the problems, which was the old notebook looked at, like I say, this tile that was actually over the kind of the Santa Barbara coast or somewhere like that. And the previous notebook, the ones that we were using this time from like notebook 1, actually looked at the Channel Islands, which is the tile to the south. And so I actually had to add a downloading of the tile to the north for it to work. And what I'm seeing here is the GDAL warp command that France posted in here is for the Channel Island tile, not for the coastal one.
Ah.
Yeah, so it looks like the version that we currently have on GeoSync is a little bit outdated.
Yeah, it's kind of kludged to work, sort of, whereas this might be have a greater success from the get-go.
Okay.
And so, by the way, these are just in the ICE docs repo. The one that I just gave you is the one that's in the ICE docs repo under UNAFCO 2020.
Well, I don't know where they came from. Maybe I took them from the wrong iStocks repo from when I was doing this before.
So are you your fault?
Yeah, you know, as with everything at JPL, everything is always my fault, so that's okay.
That's all.
The question, should I just replace it or is it outdated? Is the one from last year not going to work if I stick it in there? Is it referencing the same files that are now in our zip file?
Well, that's the thing. So I think maybe after this, we can have a look. Just try and I've renamed it. I might upload it as under a different name to my OpenSAR lab instance and see if it works from the out of the box. And if it does, then I think we should swap them.
Okay, so you're going to do that check?
Why not?
Well, I can't see any reason why not.
So the only thing I think I looked at that notebook once before. One thing that didn't work, and I think I posted that in Slack at some point. Gareth, if you run this, there's the SRT-MDM tile fetch fails with a username password authentication failed. That probably needs. Does this need a netcd netrc file?
You can get, well, I changed some of the download links to use the API of Open Topography.
Yeah, this one does wget on open topography. So maybe that's just
Yeah, so
not
that's not there anymore.
Okay, that's probably why. All the other pulls seem to work.
The other what? Sorry.
So it's grabbing like some other DEMs. It grabs a DEM from the University of Montana, and then the Hawaii data. So all of those seem to work. I think.
Okay. I'm currently trying to upload this thing to.
If you want to, it's actually, if you go to last year's folder in notebooks, SAR training, English, UNAFCO, and just run the setups notebook, it's going to pull the repo in. And you can just grab it from there. Ooh, ice installation slides. Thank you, Paul. Or Gareth.
Yeah. They might be out of date already, but they worked in February.
Oh, good, thanks.
Yeah, the one step which is kind of missing from the Conda install is you have to point the path to the executable directory.
Okay. We'll give it a try. Thanks.
And yeah, I eventually ended up writing a little script that made those added those things to the path.
Can I put this in the installation folder, or do you?
Sure, if you want. Yeah, there's no reason not to, unless it doesn't work. So maybe we should wait for Emily's feedback before.
Yeah.
I'm uploading the notebook.
Out of coffee. Any other questions? Oops, did I lose you guys? Oh, Paul froze. No, Paul is just really still.
Just hearing you sort of free associate here. Talk to yourself.
Okay, thanks, guys. I gotta run and go pick up a kid from somewhere. So I'll see you all next week. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Gareth, are you back in the office?
I am. It's very exciting. There's no one here, apart from my office neighbor. He is here. But the place is deserted. The internet doesn't flake out on me quite so often, so I think I'll be coming in every day for the class next week.
It's a good idea. I'll move my screen back out here, I guess.
It's a question on, has the installation been tested on M1 Mac?
Not by any of the developers. We don't have any M1 Macs because JPL never allows you to get latest of anything for security reasons.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's posted on the forum about it. That would be the place to look.
Yeah.
We'll try. That's interesting. Did someone move the entire ICE forum to GitHub?
Yeah, there's a lot of GitHub issues, usage nowadays.
No, what I mean is that there used to be a standalone forum, right?
The Caltech Earth
Caltech.
Def.
Yeah, I just clicked on the link to that, and it just punted me straight to the ICE GitHub.
Yeah.
Has that gone away? If it has gone away, it's not done it. It's only happened very recently.
Hmm.
That would seem to be like a great loss of information, if that is really true.
Right. Oops. Yeah, you're right. Wow.
Someone needs to get that back. What on earth?
I'll email Mark and find out what's going on.
Because I literally at the beginning of the summer, maybe even a month ago, I had a long exchange with Eric Fielding and a few others about why the stack processor wasn't was returning bizarre results. And actually, I was hoping that that was still there because I need to go back and remember what kludge I used to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're on the ISCE2 GitHub page and you scroll all the way to the bottom, it does talk about the forum, and also there, if you click the link, it says EarthDev, but it goes directly to GitHub.
Yep. But also in Google, the Google links redirect straight there as well. Search results.
Yeah, it's just ICE issue tickets.
Because I'm pretty sure someone would have posted about the M1 Mac thing on there. That would be the place I would direct people to look, and of course it's just gone. Because there were things about homebrew and Mac ports and all sorts of things on there as well.
Yep. Well, if there are no questions, we can fix all these things offline and then see everybody next week. Are there new people joining? Looks like we've got mostly instructors. Attar, Beatrice, and Rishikesh and Amit are 4 students. Are there any questions?
Just a quick question. In the cases where the evidence of completion of the previous homework is to do some exercise with some data that's like data that we downloaded and we did an exercise similar to what's in the notebook, or is it the notebook itself?
So are you talking specifically about the SAR theory notebook where it says that you should provide evidence of changing data, or are you talking in general?
In general, there are several ones that have that. For example, there's one in the data search and access where the evidence is to download a product and share the KMZ or things like those. That will mean that we need to do something other than what's in the notebook and send you evidence that we were able to do it.
Yeah, the idea with that is to test your ability to your understanding of the generality of what you're trying to do there. So we do encourage for those things for you to actually pick another area, download that, and try to plot it, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You have an M1 Mac. Is it any good? Do you like it?
Yes, but so far I haven't been able to exploit what I wanted to, which is like the speed and everything that I was supposed to get, because the monster stuff that I want to install into it, I can't install it. With GMT SAR, it was supposed to work. I think Paul Vessel had already installed it in his M1 and it was working, but the newest versions just give some error and we tried to fix it. I even gave them control of my computer for them to try to fix whatever was going on, and they couldn't. So in their forum, there are two people like me and somebody else who are having trouble, and it's been some time and I don't think they have been able to fix that. And also, I remember from my old Mac that I used to have Mac ports, and that's what I use for installing all of these things. And then something was broken. I don't know what was the deal. And so I tried to do something with Homebrew and eventually it worked, but there is some issues when you have Homebrew and Mac ports at the same time, because Homebrew tends to create some weird folder to install stuff, which is not the regular one. And then everything else you use to install goes to the user local, whatever thing. And so when you do installations from one thing and then for something else, you use the other, but they kind of communicate with each other, then they cannot find the files. So I was also a little bit worried of using Mac ports or Conda to install ISCE on this computer, because so far I have only used Homebrew. And I'm worried that stuff that is common to ISCE and to whatever it is I already have installed here is going to start giving me some conflicts.
Yeah, I think that's wise. Yeah, I think that's wise. The recommendation is to not mix Homebrew and Mac ports generally. And when I went to Homebrew, I deleted everything related to Mac ports, just blew it away.
Yeah, but now if I try to install ISCE, I cannot do it with Homebrew, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know. You should be able to.
There used to be like I say on the forum, some information about how you could use these various package installers to install it. And it'd be nice.
Yeah, last time I checked, it was either Mac ports or use Conda or something like that. But maybe it's been updated and maybe now you can, because yeah, I have been through those conflicts and I'm not an expert, so it takes me a long time to figure out what's wrong and to fix it. So
yeah, I think that's the problem. I think it actually can work. It's just a matter of getting the libraries and include files properly linked in the right versions with the right compilers, and I know that ISCE 3, which is the upgrade to ISCE 2, works. And ISCE 2 should have comparable libraries, so it should be buildable. But I have not done it myself. That was a task I was going to do after this course is over.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
So it looks like GDAL Warp was missing, missing the projection file. I'm down in the weeds. This might be a thing that needs to be fixed at the kind of like the setup level.
Which projection? You mean the lat long files?
I mean the conversion between the geoid for EGM 96.
Oh,
Okay.
I can see I found where to download it, but sometimes it does. Apparently, it's not often installed by default. It's not finding it anyway when I run the command.
Can you contact Alex or Eric?
I will try.
so EGM 96_15.gtx, that file doesn't exist. Is that the issue?
It's not finding it yet.
Okay. And that is something that gets downloaded from NGA or somebody. Where does that come from?
Well, I just found the link. OSGeo.
Oh. OSGeo meaning the same place that the GDAL software is.
Yeah. So I wonder if it's just like if there's another switch to install GDAL libraries as well as GDAL, or GDAL files as well as GDAL commands. But the file, file is there. So I don't know if even if you download it to the local directory, I don't think it will use it. Well, I'll try that.
Okay, goodbye, Beatrice. Let's talk to you next week.
Error, cannot open EGM 9615 GTX. So it needs to be copied somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, and then all the things I fixed about the Greenland projections and things they look like they work straight out of the box in the 2020 version, which is cool.
Well, except for the time you wasted fixing things.
Apart from that, I feel like I learned something, you know. Yes, we might need to fix the. Looks like we will need to fix the file names and things for the reprojection, because now we have them downloaded in a different place with different file names. But that should be straightforward.
So is it easier to just fix that point rather than switching to a different notebook?
Not sure. The text is also different, right? Because it actually talks about the right places and things.
Yeah, so what I was going to do was simply compare last year's notebook to this year's notebook and change the minimal amount, which I think if everything else you just confirmed works, except for that geotiff, the GDAL warp. If everything else works, I can just cut and paste the bottom cell.
Like I said, the file names are different. So we have it looking now strip map interferogram, strip map geometry for those files, and they have the standard file names for ICE, so like z.h, z.rdr, and Latin long.
Yeah.
So all those things work in
Right.
the 2021 version right now.
Right.
So maybe you just need to copy and paste the text and the location of the point.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. But we still might want the solution for the GDAL warp.
So, okay, how do we get that solution? Is this a matter of Alex
When you run the
installing something?
GDAL warp command, it cannot find the. I'm texting Alex. Just trying to
Pasted
find-
like a web page that has like some information on proj grids.
So is it that line? Is it any GDAL warp?
No, well, it's specifically the ones that are trying to use a different datum, and that command that you pasted in the chat earlier won't work because it can't find this EGM9615.gtx file, and it's supposed to be in user share proj. I'm guessing it's not, but I've actually done a listing of that directory to figure out what.
I see. Yeah, it says something about the grids being large and not included in all installations. So perhaps the installation just didn't include that.
Is it as easy as downloading it separately and putting it in that folder?
But it's a system folder.
Yes, I mean for them.
I think so.
Okay, I sent him the notebook. I pointed out the issue.
Why it's in there? Hang on. What the hell? I just did a listing of that directory and it's in there. So why isn't it?
Oh.
Cannot open it. Maybe we don't have read permission.
Where are you looking? Which folder?
The one I put in the chat. USR share proj. So the file is there, but when you run the GDAL warp command, it cannot access or cannot. What does it say specifically? What does it say? It says cannot open the file. So I wonder if that means it's just
Yeah.
a permissions issue.
Okay, I send the information to Alex, including the notebook.
It's owned by Root.
It's owned by Root, but it's readable by all.
Yeah, so what the heck is going on? Yeah.
Everything is readable by all.
Interesting bug. By interesting, I mean quite frustrating.
Is that
Yeah.
always the same? Mostly. Okay, we'll figure it out. He's gonna look at it shortly. He's working on something real quick with MinPy, with a MinPy user. But we'll pivot over to this once he's done.
Okay. So I'll update the text, and then when you, maybe nothing else needs to change in the notebook if it can be solved at the system level.
I asked David about the user, the forum for ICE. And he doesn't know either, but he did notice that it redirects, so he doesn't have more insight. And he also doesn't know if ICE installs on an M1 Mac.
Well, it's EarthDef is at Caltech, and it's Mark Simon's computer, so he would know better probably. Here, he responded. So did Eric Fielding. They had to deprecate it last week. It's very out of date and a security risk. Given the current version of Giant is not being maintained, we decided to point to GitHub instead.
But it's ICE and the stack processor that we're missing. No one uses Giant.
Yeah. So the question is, can we get access to all of that history of the forum? Okay, I'll respond to Mark and see what we can do to resurrect some aspect of it.
Oh, you pasted the, okay, owned by Root, readable by everybody.
Yeah, that should be all right.
Have you tried running that command? Did you get the same thing? The GDAL warp. Blah.
Try to run it on command line.
Yeah, OF GTIF. Blah 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 blah. Geoid grids equals EGM 9615.gtx, and all I get is
Can you try, do you want to give it like a path to be sure it looks in the right place?
I could. I'm not sure. Will it?
Yeah, this can be
It
the
does work.
issue.
It works with a path.
Huh. So it may
Oh.
be trying to look in a wrong location for some reason.
Oh, that's beautiful. Now you see like the ellipsoid.
Yeah.
And I kind of fixed something. I can go home.
I have to go now because I've got a qualifying exam I have to attend.
Well, time's up. So what are you going to do? You're going to just direct me to stick /user/share/proj in front of that command?
You can save the chat, by the way. Did you know that?
Everybody
Um,
can. It always gets automatically saved, I think, right?
It gets saved to the host, I think.
Yep.
But the little three dot menu in the chat window,
Oh,
save chat,
All right, I just
and it
saved
saves it
it.
as a text file in your Zoom folder somewhere on your machine.
so dirty question. If you save somebody's chat, what happens to all the private messages?
They actually end up in the host's chat.
So they are not really private.
No,
No. So don't say anything bad about the host.
don't say anything that you wouldn't want the host to know.
Yeah. All right, I think it's time to move on. Thanks, everybody. And we'll see you next week. I'm sure there'll be a flurry of activity over the weekend for all the last minute things.
Of course.
Very good. Have a great weekend, everyone.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.